Now, a few weeks here into the season, we have our most important series yet to date. We are currently second place in the NL West, and the team currently in that first place slot is the San Diego Padres, but this 4-game series could give the Rockies the early division lead if we can win at least 3 of these games against the Padres. We're going to watch all 4 games from the point of view of a different player, and we're going to look at all 3 rookies. A very impactful rookie class, probably the most we've had at least since Murillo came to the squad. And the first player we're going to keep track of is Jose Beretto. We watched him pitch in the live stream that we did a couple days ago. He did not pitch very well, hoping for a better outing here from Jose, as we really need him to have a good season if we have any playoff hopes. There he gets a strikeout on Fernando Tatis. That was honestly a pretty dangerous pitch. Tatis said he actually swung at that one, might have gone yard with it. A walk there will make it 2 runners on base for Nelson Velasquez. 2 down here, and the strikeout up and in. We'll end the inning. Second strikeout there of the first for Beretto. Back up now in the top of the second. Bogaerts lifts this one deep to left field. Almost got it to leave. Instead, it's high off the wall for a leadoff double for the Padres. Big free agent acquisition Anthony Volpe strikes out here. The third of the day for Jose. Hitting .235 in that 8th spot is Jake Cronenworth. He goes down on a grounder here. Runner advances to third with 2 gone. The 9-hitter up next, and he hits it right at Sterling Thompson. He makes the accurate throw. 2 scoreless innings for Jose Beretto. The Rockies offense doing a pretty good job putting some runs up on the board now. 4 through the first 2 innings. Andrew Pennock, another drafted player that's getting some time here in the division at that left field spot. Hitting leadoff there. Gets on base. J.P. Crawford flies out after him. And then Fernando Tatis with a fly ball into foul territory. Makes it 2 gone here for the Padres. And then another strikeout for Beretto. The Padres kind of looking at some very hittable pitches, it feels like. But I'll take it. Increasing that K per 9 number from Beretto any way I can. Nelson Velasquez up here in the 4th. Score remains 4-0 in favor of our Rockies. Bogaerts almost left the yard with his last at bat, and he's got another hard hit ball here. This one will also reach the wall. 2 doubles for Bogaerts here. Full count pitch, and Volpe gets a free base. 2 men on for the Padres. This is their best chance to put some runs on the board they've had yet in this game. Cronenworth 0 for 1 and swings at the fastball for strike 3. Low pitch is going to be an out there on the throw. Xander Bogaerts trying to get to third, but Salas with the quick reaction and the throw to Thompson ends the inning. No runs on the board still here for the Padres. Now, unfortunately, despite the no runs allowed, Jose Beretto's pitch count in the 5th is already approaching 90 here. So you got to rule out any sort of, complete game shutout here. Yeah, I think he might not even be able to last past 5 or 6 here in this game. Run down there by Cerny, and the throw is gonna get the runner out again. The second time we've been able to throw a runner out at third. This time from center field. Just an awesome throw from Cerny there. Was right where it needed to be to get the out. Not much wiggle room there, and Cerny runs this one down as well. Beretto at 95 pitches comes out here for the 6th. Gets the first out there. The fly out to Manny Machado. Nelson Velasquez pops it up. Salas giving chase and reaches over to snag that one. 2 for 2 for Bogarts. High in the zone, and Herrera settles underneath it. That's 6 shutout innings for Jose Beretto. That would be the game for him, though, as the pitch count was just getting a little bit too high there. But an awesome game that Beretto really needed. His numbers haven't looked great to start this year. The Rockies end up with a 6-5 victory. Once Beretto went out, the Padres started putting some major runs on the board. Ended up with more hits than the Rockies in Game 1, but Rockies lead the series 1-0. Here in Game 2, we'll be looking at Clemente Herrera, who earned a bit of a promotion up the lineup to that 2 spot after hitting really well with that 427 on-base percentage, hitting 333 average. He's been awesome this year, and want to see if he can continue that production, hitting much higher in the order here. Of the players that we have in the outfield currently on the roster, he's probably the outfielder that I'm most excited about for his future. If he can develop a little bit more power, he has a chance to be a really awesome player. And I mean, he's already hitting in the 2 spot for us. So, already in a prominent role, and I think it's only going to get better as time goes on. 1-1 ball game here, bottom of the 4th. He has the 3rd most hits of any Rockies player so far this year. Certainly somebody that's a bit better against lefties, but still pretty good numbers against righties here. This one just gonna go foul. Almost got himself a nice extra base hit there. Instead, it's a 1-2 count, and good eye there to even up the count. 2-2 pitch is in for strike 3. That was very beautifully located on that lower outside edge. Would obviously love the protect there, but we've seen the game call that as a ball more often than not, so I can't blame him for trying to get that call on that pitch. Instead, he's back up. The Rockies now have a 2-run lead here, bottom of the 5th, 2 outs. A really nice hit here could give the Rockies a nice big lead. Kramer in the game now, up to 60 pitches here, bottom of the 5th. He's actually been keeping that pitch count in a nice spot so far. And that circle change in for strike 2. Full count now here for Herrera. That will bring up Murillo on the deck, hitting 241 with runners in scoring position. You'd hope that would be a little bit higher with how good he's been overall. Fouls this one off. Herrera doing a good job of actually increasing this pitch count. Kramer needs to get that pitch count up here a little bit here in the game. Ultimately, though, Clemente Herrera flies out to right field. Good battle. But ultimately, we lost it. Bottom of the 8th now. Score remains the same. Now going up against Jairo Iriarte. Another righty here. Would love to see him actually hit against the lefty, but we'll have to save that for a future episode. Behind the count now, 0-2. Rockies looking to take their 2nd straight game here in the series, and Herrera unfortunately gonna go hitless in this game. As a bonus, because I forgot to start the simulation, and we would get to see Raphael Murillo's next at-bat, and he takes it yard. Not a great offensive performance from Herrera, but we get a little bit of a treat here at the end. Rafi's 7th home run of the series. Fans in Colorado love Raphael Murillo, are really hoping that he can finally get over the hump and get that all-star bid. I feel like he's been an all-star caliber player ever since he really stepped into the league, but hasn't been able to crack that all-star game somehow. Can this be the year? I think he has better hitters in front of him than he's had in the past, so hopefully he can drive in some more runs. Game number 3 now we're going to be watching from the point of view of Neil Dorsey, another guy we saw pitch last episode and didn't pitch particularly well. Hoping for a bounce back start here from him. First batter he got out, but now he's got a man on base to bring up Fernando Tatis, who goes down on the slider. Machado hitting over 300 on the year, but he's going down on the slider as well. Looking like a good strikeout pitch here early in this game. Of course, the bonus of watching Neil Dorsey games is that we get to mix some at-bats in with the pitching as well. He's up bottom of the first, 2 gone, and a man in scoring position. Dylan Lesko pitching for the Padres for this game. One of their better prospects in real life. Now has reached the mid-80s here in the game and become a solid pitcher here for San Diego, and he retires Neil Dorsey on the grounder to third. Nelson Velasquez hits this one deep to center field, and leaping is Logan Cerny to make the grab. Been an awesome Logan Cerny defensive episode here. He's making plays over in center. He's the last position player from the Rule 5 draft to stick around and make plays on this team, and showing you why with his defensive abilities here. Neil Dorsey racking up another strikeout here on Xander Bogaerts. That slider doing some serious work early in this game. See some stats on it. 3 inches of break, 1,300 plus spin rate there. Volpe. Grounder over to Sterling Thompson is in. Time to end the second. Drake Baldwin gets this one through the infield. 1 out, single here, top of the third. Andrew Pinnock up next. And Ethan Salas gonna catch him stealing. Beautiful throw there to get out number 2, and then another strikeout here for Neil Dorsey on Pinnock. And we're seeing some mighty fine pitching here in this episode today. The exact opposite of what we were seeing on the live stream. Both of our rookie pitchers have it going on here in this episode. J.P. Crawford grounds over to Figueroa. That's how we kick off the 4th. Tatis. Seen a lot of at-bats against him. Very dangerous hitter, but we've done a nice job keeping him quiet here in this series. And it's another strikeout with the slider. That pitch has been on fire for Neil Dorsey here in this episode. This time, 5 inches of break. Nasty pitch. Manny Machado. Base knock here with 2 gone. Through that left infield gap. Sterling Thompson gloves this grounder and makes the throw across the diamond. Beats the runner. And we're out of another inning. Dorsey back up to bat here in the 4th. Colorado has not been able to get anything going against Lesko here. Been a pitcher's battle through 4. Can Neil Dorsey show off a little bit of that power? If you missed the live stream, I had to make Neil Dorsey a whole field hitter just because he's a switch hitter and the game does not allow you to make someone an opposite hitter as a switch hitter. It doesn't make much sense to me. So we'll see if that helps him out, or maybe it doesn't at all. Doesn't make much of an impact in any way, but I do think as a whole field hitter, he'll have lots of exciting plays going forward. Another strikeout there on Bogaerts. Now Anthony Volpe will get on base. Allowing some singles, but not allowing any extra base hits, not allowing any home runs, which we of course know is usually the problem here with this series. Cronenworth to Thompson to Figueroa for out number 2 on the full count pitch. That'll bring up the 9-hitter. This one struck well, deep to right field. Herrera giving chase, and he snags it to end the inning. That one was close. Probably the best chance San Diego's had to score all game long. And here's a Kyle Brown play that I guess I forgot to clip. My apologies there. Let's get back to Neil Dorsey. Andrew Pennick back up, top of the order for the Padres, and he goes out to Veen. Up to 69 pitches. Nice for Dorsey here, and he's going to get that second out of the 6th on it. Can Tatis finally do something for San Diego here in this series? Not going to happen this time. Make it 6 shutout innings. The second time we've seen a pitcher do that here. This time, Dorsey doing a little bit better of a job keeping that pitch count in a reasonable place, though, so he's going to be back out here in the 7th. Velasquez, diving play by Sterling Thompson, and then from the knees makes the throw on time. Beautiful play over at third base. It's definitely his best attribute here. Bogaerts, fly out to Cerny, and another scoreless inning pitched. He's out again for the 8th and gets the strikeout. Volpe looking at the fastball high in the zone. Pitch count now into the 90s. Out number 2 acquired. Now the question is he going to come out for the 9th? Try to pitch the complete game shutouts. The curveball gets Baldwin swinging, and Dorsey having himself a game up on the mound. Hasn't done much here at the plate. We'll have another opportunity here. Bottom of the 8th. 0 for 3 so far today, going against Johnny Beretto. Could use an insurance run here for sure, bottom of the 8th. Especially if we're going to try to bring out Neil Dorsey again, because that is not a lot of wiggle room for a man who's probably running on fumes at this point with his energy. Falls behind this count 0-2, and he is striking out. The Rockies would actually bring out the closer Santillan here. I think I respect the decision. If this was a little bit bigger of a lead, then yeah, bring Neil Dorsey out to close the game. But instead, Santillan picks up another save, and the Rockies extend the series lead to 3-0, officially taking the division lead. Now trying to extend it here in the 4th and final game of the series. And there you see the record, 16-11 now to 16-9. Tied for wins, but the Rockies have 2 less losses, of course. Pitching has been excellent here in the series, and for this final game, we're going to take the point of view of our best player, Raphael Murillo. Off to a pretty good start here. Saw him hit a bonus home run in the Clemente Herrera game. Now we focus on him entirely. Zach Gallen will be the pitcher for the Padres in this game. Pretty good pitcher, especially if you are familiar with Mr. Hurricanes Rockies franchise from a few games ago. He was very hard to hit there, but Murillo not having any sort of a problem here. Sliding into second safely for a 2-out double. His 14th of this young season. Now an opportunity to drive in a run with no outs and a runner on second in the 4th inning. Been a low scoring affair in this game. Neither team able to put anything on the board quite yet. Cutter is fouled off to fall behind 0-2 here in this count. This one's going to be popped up for the catcher. Baldwin makes the easy play and Murillo is retired. Back up here in the 6th. Rockies have put 1 run on the board. Trying to get the sweep. Can Murillo get things started here in the 6th? Leading the team in runs. Getting across that plate, largely in part due to his pretty good pace on the home runs to start this year. 7, I believe, is second in the NL. There are a couple players with 8, but I mean, he's just one swing away from taking that lead. 1-2 pitch is low. Good battle here between Gallen and Murillo. This one's crushed to center field. Murillo does take that NL tying lead with 8 home runs. 410 feet on this one, 107 miles an hour off the bats. Raphael Murillo had his first season below 30 home runs last year. Well, he's looking to get back into those 30s, if not maybe even in the 40s with the pace he's on right now. Bottom 7th. Rockies lead 3-1 here in this game. Gallen has been subbed out for Iriarte here at this point in the ballgame. Can we sweep the San Diego Padres? We've had some troubles against this team. Of course, a lot of those troubles in the past caused by Nolan Jones, now no longer a member of the Padres. And with him gone, we've had ourselves a lot more success. And Murillo looking for a 2-home run game, and he gets it. Also a 2-run home run for Murillo. Number 9 gives him the NL lead in home runs here in the month of April. Also extends this Rockies lead to 5-1 here in this ball game. And with the way our pitchers have been pitching in this series, you have to think that lead's got to be safe. With the exception of the last couple of innings in that Padres game, the pitching has been elite here, and the Rockies would come up victorious. A 4-0 sweep over the former division leaders. And you got to be feeling about the Rockies' chances to win their first ever NL West crown with the way they're playing right now. That's going to wrap up the episode here. We would sim forward a little bit after this sweep of the Padres would give us the division lead. Not very good simulations here. Unfortunately, losing to a series to Miami, and we're already going to lose to Pittsburgh. Might even get swept here. 8-15 though is still good enough to actually be on top of the division after having just one team under 500 last year. So far only has one team over 500. That could certainly change as time goes along, but if you look at it, the only team ranked as a top 10 team in baseball is the Dodgers, who are actually in last place right now. So the NL West looks more beatable this year than ever before. And I hope that we can continue through the season here and maintain our lead on the division. Murillo is up to 327 average with 10 home runs so far. Chase Dolander started to settle down a little bit here. Ethan Salas continues to struggle. Clemente Herrera, still a really hot bat, 333, 17 RBIs is pretty dang good as well. Kopech Still not looking great, but has started to get a little bit better, I suppose. Jose Beretto, those numbers are much better than we saw not too long ago. Kyle Brown has definitely cooled off down to 278 average here with 4 home runs. Sterling Thompson has cooled way the heck down with a cold streak. He was hitting in the 400s just a couple weeks ago, now all the way down to 242. Got Brian Doe looking for a call up here, hitting 265, already 6 home runs as well at AAA. Neil Dorsey, 309 ERA with a 109 WHIP. He's been our best pitcher, surprisingly enough, so far this season. Also with 9 home runs and a 275 average for us on the batting side. You got to imagine that's an easy early favorite for Rookie of the Year. Tony Santillan, he has blown 2 saves with 8 saves on the board, so not quite the ratio we saw from him last year. Already has half the blown saves, but also not as good of a year. But luckily we got a lot of guys coming up that could take that spot. Zach Veen, not off to a hot start this season at all either, and you have to wonder if that season we saw from him last year is just going to be something we look back at as one season of glorious play, or if he can actually turn things around and actually get back to what he was, because he was really good last year, but haven't seen that so far this year. Jimmy Blanco, 10 strikeouts in 10 innings. He has 7 saves, no blown saves so far for the AA team. He's not going to last in AA for very long, I think. James Ungerer, not a great start at AAA, but I think by the end of the year he'll be looking quite ready for the majors. Figueroa, not doing great, already got demoted down the batting order. Phil Gorzelski, WHIP is looking great, but ERA not as good for him. Andrew Moore, kind of the opposite. The WHIP looks much worse than the ERA. Cerny, kind of know who he is. Smeltzer, pitching really well, I think. And there you have it. Rich Walsh, who might be the one who replaces Santillan, looking pretty good. 10 strikeouts in 8 innings so far, 6 saves, no blown saves. And Rico Salazar up to 3 home runs early with a 250 average, 16 runs batted in. Already losing 3 contact versus lefties, but increasing 3 power. I guess you can say that's a fair trade. I don't know, but hopefully we get more positives across the board as the season continues to roll along. Well, that's all I've got for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon with another. And I'll see you then. Go Rockies.